y'all already understand the power behind this, right? Of exercising the spiritual eyes and using the blindfold alone, living by faith and not by sight, and on a moment to moment basis. It shows, are we relaxing the tension in our body, or are we doing works? And are we letting God see it, or are we doing it on our own? So, as the Bible says in righteousness in Hebrews, is to discern between what's functional and dysfunctional and to exercise our spiritual senses. So, when we have the blindfold on, we can actually perceive in the moment. So, for example, last night we were exercising with, I typed on Google images, cartoons with people with pains in their body, and it'll show a cartoon grabbing its shoulder, a knee, a stomach, and the ones with the blindfold on. So, what we did is we relaxed every part of our body, and then the hand, and we're using the right hand of God is mystical and power, right? And it will start to vibrate once we relax everything. And why it's vibrating is because the electromagnetics is actually pulling towards that direction. The hand's ready to pick up information if we want to use the hand, and the right hand is the giver, the left hand is the receiver. So we're about to give the life giving spirit. So yeah, once we relax our body and they have the blindfolds on and I'm holding the picture up on the screen, they'll either feel it vibrating through the blindfold, and or their hand will magnetically they'll feel it go just right there once I walk them through it. So I was showing them, imagine when you're going to a supermarket and you're unconscious, the eyes are not aware, and we're getting hypnotized and programmed by the things of the world. Because in Matthew 5 it says, while we're sleeping, while we're unconscious, the enemy is sowing bad seed, you know, and it's getting us stuck in patterns. When we relax, we can absorb the information more clearly because we know we're getting 80,000 thoughts a day, 70,000, 80,000 thoughts a day. 80% of them are thoughts about yesterday, thoughts about the old man, thoughts that have not risen with Christ. So as we're exercising our spiritual senses, we're awakening to righteousness. Paul prays that after the cross. He prays that we awaken to righteousness. And it's a continuous thing, as it says in that's why it's called training to reign off of Romans 5:17. It says, by continuously receiving the abundance of grace and the free gift of righteousness, you shall reign in life. So it's saying by continuously receiving, the abundance of grace, by continuously exercising the spiritual senses. It's like a muscle. Once we fall off, none of the gifts are revocable, but once we stop using it, it's like the muscle there. With the words of knowledge, let's say someone was growing up as a child and they didn't get a birthday cake on their birthday, but they end up getting flowers as they're going in a supermarket or wherever they go in the streets or in the marketplace. When it's someone's birthday around them, and if they're getting a leading for a words of knowledge, they're actually going to get flowers, and to them, it's going to interpret as someone's birthday. So we use some symbols, or what does this mean to you, or what does that mean to you, whatever the symbols are, and we can interpret them in the blindfold. If I'm getting a coffee cup or a pizza, or if I see like eggs falling in the kitchen, maybe someone was having a conversation in the kitchen about a miscarriage or something like that. So when I get the symbols and I'm exercising the symbols in the subconscious mind, and the spirit's able to interpret it as that. When we're doing the blindfold training, is we want to relax the tension in our body, and this is based off of Genesis 4:17, somewhere around there, where it says Noah found grace in the eyes of the Lord, and we know Noah means rest in the Hebrew, and the root word of rest in the Hebrew is deep breathing. So when we're
Wow.
being when we're led by the Spirit, we follow the breath, because the word spirit there is the word breath. So to be led by the Spirit is to follow your breath and observation, so we can take every thought captive, and we won't be condemned by the external reality by the way we're reacting to our internal thoughts. We can live under grace by humbling ourselves, and that actually resolves a lot of tension in the body, because the tension blocks the information that's coming in, because everything's information, including pain, telling us how to get out of the patterns, or what thoughts that we're hanging on to that's limiting us in our belief system in the box, so we can come to higher levels. So the key thing too in relaxation is relaxing the head first, like relaxing the eyes and the eyes behind the eyelids. And how we relax the eyes, for example, is you're just aware of your eyes and you're noticing how much tension is there, but you don't try to fix it. You're just observing it, and that's actually unconditional love. That's what it means to unconditionally love your pain or love your enemy, is to observe it without judgment, and we start learning from there. But once we add a condition to anything, we're adding the tension to it. And the wages for sins is depletion or decreasing. The mind's governed by the flesh because we're seeing it as our perspective instead of as it is. Even seeing things as they are declifies the pineal gland as well, and then I'll bring it to the oneness and unity in the crown. So once we relax the face, then the body will start to relax. That's why it's trouble for individuals to go to sleep, is because they have a lot of tension on the face. But once they like relax the jaw and the rest of themselves on the face, then the body will start to relax. On the mechanics, on order there. So if we're trying to like feel something in our body, because when you're moving in the realm of the prophetic or word of knowledge, sometimes your eyes will go this way or that way because of the magnets in the eyes. There's a protein in the magnets that are attracting, right? And you'll notice yourself doing these movements, and you're just observing it and relaxing. You know, the electromagnetics are cooling because consciousness is electromagnetic. It's great to get the experience, and then we're gonna keep on going. Those are just some beginning steps. We're gonna start off with some basic cards. Right now, I'm traveling and I'm on my laptop. My other computer, I can put up all kind of cool pictures, but we're gonna start with the basics. And also, even when we see the cards, our mind starts to get logical and say, oh, what colors are they? And then that's the left side of the brain, of the logic, which we need the carnal mind to drive and go to work, and a lot of the logical abilities. But we are to have equilibrium in the brain. So the right brain would be imagination, exercising the senses, being intuitive. And when you use the left side of your body, your right side of your brain is activating. And once we can bring them together like that, left nostril breathing by holding the right nostril, and then it'll switch this way, and that starts to circulate the brain and function and bring that movement there. Because whatever we don't use, falls asleep and dormant.
Wow. Wow.
So it's just
Awesome.
so when we have the mask on, or if you put a shirt over our head in a little bit, you can keep your eyes open, and you just let them relax, almost like you're gonna have an NDE, and you just observing, relaxing, and it says in, I believe in Matthew, those that sat in darkness saw a great light. So as we sit there
Wow.
and we observe, we're in the darkness, the light must come.
Wow.
And
Wow.
when the light comes, it's going to reveal the truth of what we were desiring, whether it be a
Wow.
symbol, a color.
Wow.
You may see a
Come on.
orb. You may see an orb, and the orb it's a photon light that comes through, and it's going to deliver a message sent for those who inherit salvation. Our angels, ministering spirits. So we get it only the moment we're patient. But patience doesn't mean to wait a long time. It is not to be anxious, but at the same time,
Mm.
you know how words of knowledge come fast,
Wow.
and then another thought comes. If we sit on that for too long, and we're trying to be patient to discern, then it's like we're gonna sit on those tokens we never did nothing with, as it says in the words. You know, we're just sitting on our inheritance there, and then the other thought, the doubt, is gonna stay there for a long time, and they're gonna start ingraining in the neural pathways, and we're gonna keep getting. Then it's gonna be that memory. Oh, it could have been this. It could have been that. But
Mm-hmm.
usually it's going to be another light that's going to come at times, and it's what the Bible calls Satan, which is deception or adversary, the opponent, and it's going to give the illusion of what we thought the light was,
Wow.
but it's going to
Wow.
come
Come
right
on.
after the next one a lot sometimes. But you can start feeling it and discerning about how it happens to you.
Wow.
And sometimes, as I was learning too, I noticed I started to
Mm.
get led by the patterns of the way I was getting it right, but then but I'm supposed to be led by the breath and live in the moment, not by the patterns, because I'm like, wait, but it was 10 times in a row this way. Why is it changing up? And then I started to learn.
Mm.
Mm.
I started to get
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
trying to see how
Awesome.
I thought it was mechanical for a minute, but no, it's always living
Wow.
in now and having faith, without faith.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
Mm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm.
Wow. Wow. Awesome.
Mhm.
Awesome.
All right. So you're ready to get started, or any questions?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
My questions, Nico. Can you just kind of highlight three things
Good.
we should watch for? Okay, because I watched your video when you were doing colored codes, and you're
Right.
trying to put the same color rings. And I saw a guy that was with you. Was it you or another guy?
That's right.
And you were trying to put in a different ring color over the cone,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
there was repulsion.
Yes, that's right. Repulsion.
Yeah, exactly.
Um,
And there was repulsion. Okay, can you give us 2 or 3 things we should watch for? Is it just to okay, when we relax the tension in the eyes, how do we pick the colors? How do we know, okay, this is a red, this is a blue? Does it come by thoughts also, or pictures, or feelings, or knowing?
right.
Okay.
Yeah, it comes through them all of them. If we're consistent at it, you will always see the light all the time. Like today, you will always see the light, and you're gonna start to feel it at the same time, or you feel it prior, and then the light will come 2 milliseconds later if we could calculate that. But with this, we're gonna see nothing but whatever we put over our eyes, our eyelids, or even if we have our eyes open under the mask, we're just gonna see the blackness, right?
Yes.
So yeah, when we're relaxing it, this is what we'll experience, and you'll see it. All of us will. We'll see nothing but blackness, and then all of a sudden it'll be like a little tiny star, so small that will be a red one, if it's the color red, and it'll either go by or it'll kind of just pop up like think, or in your preview vision you can see it, and if you try to look for it, it'll keep going to the side. Sometimes it'll go right in front of our face, or we'll see a giant line that'll come by,
Okay.
or sometimes it'll get so big and bright, or it'll be like a filter over your mask. You see like a little reddish tint. And when individuals get really good, you can actually drive with it on and actually brush your teeth, and
Wow.
actually see like your regular eyes, because
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
the mask is
Wow.
actually an illusion that we can't see through it, but we actually can. And now we
Okay.
have this belief system that we can't see through a blindfold, or we can't see when we're blind.
Mm.
But there's actually people that do this training that were blind and actually gained their sight back as well.
Wow.
And then have
Wow.
patience to pray for blind eyes.
Wow.
hmm
Wow.
Yeah, there's videos on it I can share with y'all, and I'm gonna add
Wow.
you to the group when we're done, our WhatsApp group, and we're gonna show these amazing testimonies with just this alone. But not to get off subject, but we're also starting um, telekinesis, aerokinesis, reading meditation Zooms on different times. Um, the ice bath, and just living in the fruits like that. A lot of exercises,
Mm.
spiritual exercises to train.
Okay.
Mm.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And you can also hear it too. There's one I haven't uploaded yet where we had an orange, and I told my buddy, because it was taking him a while, and he was I could see the tension on him. I said, just hear it, and I'm like, just hear it. And I'll drop it. And what does it mean to you? And on his piano, it said orange. You can hear it say orange on there.
Wow.
I even heard it too, and he said, I said, did you hear
Wow.
that? So,
Wow.
the heavens and the
Awesome.
earth are witnessing for us to choose life, and it was responding once we mature
Wow.
in senses. Yeah,
Wow. Beautiful. Beautiful.
it is. Yeah, here's some basic symbols of some cards, and we know
Okay.
a representation of what it means. Things can be prophetic.
Wow. This is good. This is good.
I
This is
can
good.
see God, knitting you up, or I see someone's been pushing your buttons, something, right?
Mm.
Whatever it pops up later, or what it means, and then the flow.
Mhm.
Even the ones we studied that day, oh yeah, that happened to them when they were getting shoulders and back pains on the card, and something else later after the training, like 20 minutes later, that they end up stepping into the realm of the prophetic with the fractals, how it became complex.
Wow.
And he started seeing the same individuals with the shoulders, or the same name, or where
Wow.
the colors are getting, and
Wow.
it was like setting
Awesome.
up in the realm, yeah.
Hmm.
Because
Oh, this
imagination
is
creates
great. This is
reality,
great.
so senses do it. All right.
Beautiful.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. With this
Uh-huh.
training of blindfold,
hmm
is it going to help our abilities to pick issues on people having pains, like word of knowledge, like picking body
Exactly.
issues and
It
all?
exactly
All
will.
right.
It will give names, numbers, situations, places. It'll be so direct.
Wow.
And
Wow.
here's a lot of reasons why. There actually have testimonies of individuals saying a lot of stuff they experienced just by one day or one session like this.
Wow.
And what it was
Wow.
is, since you're gonna see the orbs with the eyelids closed, you're gonna see them with your eyelids open, and you will 100%. And you're gonna see the flares. They're gonna shoot by so fast, like little bugs. And once you see like a little light, an angel, it's gonna go by in that dimensional realm. It looks small here, but they're gonna hit someone, let's say in their heart. That means they've been grieving, or they're gonna hit somebody on their shoulder.
Wow.
They're carrying a heavy burden, but the moment you walk up and speak, that message is gonna be that vibration is gonna be really close
Wow.
to pick up what the angel's saying. So um, let's say it hits on the right foot, but on the ground next to someone, and it hits the ground, and orb just hits the ground next to someone's right foot. And that means on the right side of the body is the masculine, the male side, and that means a male passed away. The left side, a female passed away. So it's a cloud of witness, or it's you know, a masculine or female type of presence that has to do with the female will represent a subconscious mind or a pattern. All the messages are to get us out of our patterns, you know, for us to receive salvation. Of course, we know so we can edify, encourage, and speak wherever it hits, wherever it goes, and you would know even just by seeing it, it's automatic importation and download. Even just being here with all of us collectively being hungry, there's going to be a lot of it, and it also exercises that part of the brain where it starts to have an equilibrium instead of too much distraction in the midst of it. It would just be flowing. Even working just on colors, just for now, more things are going to open up and come. Like you can test this with somebody else in person and say, I'm going to get what color you're thinking in your head, and pick a color, any color in the world, and you just get in and feel it, and you know when this person gets it enough, as y'all do, but it's going to be enhanced, a lot more sharp. Thought projection and thought reception.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow. Awesome.
So let's get
All
it.
right.
All right. So you want to put it over your head. I'm gonna show you how it looks on the screen. So that would be blue, red, and I'm gonna hold it here, and y'all can be patient and be bold at the same time of what you're getting, so we can take shots and see how it feels. Because I know everyone here moves in the realm of the prophetic, words of knowledge, and moves in the spirit. But the moment we try something new, sometimes we put demand or pressure on ourselves, and awareness too. So we're into that angle. But everyone, be free. Don't be condemned. I believe y'all are going to do really great. You already have, you know.
All right.
All right. So yeah, you go ahead and
All right.
the
Put the phone.
wait, you said your phone?
Okay. You say yo.
So, yeah, it doesn't matter. Also, where the screen is, I've done it where you can walk out of the room while your phone's in the room and get it, or you could turn your back or anything, because the spirit is intelligent. All right, I'm putting it up now. So it's up now, and it's also good to if you want, you can talk or just listen. All that stuff exercises the right brain as you're listening. You just want to relax as much as possible, like an NDE, or you can imagine that you're at the church or you're in the streets, and you're gonna read what's going on in this present situation. Sometimes I also use something like this. I go 3, 2, 1, and I put myself under something like that. Like, you know how you go into spirit, you just do it. You're like, I'm gonna go into the spirit now, and then you start activating in it. I'm playing like a child in the kingdom.
Okay. Hello. Can you guys hear me?
But
Yes, we can.
but this one's green. So
Okay.
Yeah.
okay,
Oh,
yeah.
you said the color. So I saw the color green or something. Hey, please, Lord Jesus. Can you guys hear me? Okay.
So
Yeah, we can.
So I still have green, so I'm gonna take it away, and then I'm gonna put green back on now like this, and see if you can see it with your mask on still. Let me know when the green light comes. So I'm gonna take it away from the screen now, and I'm gonna put it back now. I'm gonna take the green away now. It's coming now. Are y'all seeing the green? Yeah, I'm gonna switch the color now. I'm gonna take the green away, and I'm gonna put a new color Now.
Do you have a purple?
Good job. It's blue, but same thing. They look just alike with the lighting here. Put another one up right now.
I don't know. The only color I think to see something like red. I don't know.
Good job. It is red.
Okay.
So how did you see it?
I don't even know. It just like it was like seen anyway. It was like,
Are we back to blue?
It's red.
like red
Yeah,
or something.
yeah, you see like a red light.
Hey, can anyone hear me?
I just knew. I didn't see anything anyway.
Oh, you felt like it was red?
Yes, something like that. Yes, yes.
Anyone
Felt,
hear me?
yes. Felt is the word.
All right. So here's another one now.
This round.
It's that's good. It's orange, really close to red.
Oh wow.
That's good. And what are y'all experiencing as you're hearing the correct answer? And how is that experience so far right now?
Feels embarrassing.
Oh no.
So
Ordinary word of knowledge. Can you imagine?
I've removed my phone already.
You removed your phone. You're looking. No, I cannot be the only one
No,
looking like that.
there are no colors. There are no colors yet.
now I'm gonna put a shape up, a shape and a
Okay.
color. So we have a shape and a color. Here it is. There. And what you can if you relax yourself enough, you can feel your head going in that direction. Your eyes. If you use your hand, you feel your hand.
Like 3 circles. I don't know. I don't know what to call them.
No, it's not 3 circles. But also there's a color as well. But you do got the circle right. So you could y'all can look at this one if it's easy for you to take your blindfold off for a second, so you can see what I'm working with. Okay. Let me know if you got.
Okay, I saw orange. I said orange. Wow.
Oh.
Wow. Oh, cool.
Did you hear orange?
About
Yeah.
0 over 1,000.
Wow, that's amazing.
Wow.
0 over 1,000. 0 over everything.
All right.
I did, the funny thing is I didn't see it. I heard orange.
Oh wow.
I heard orange actually. Wow, awesome.
That's amazing. That's so good.
Okay.
There it is. What's up?
Is it a cone?
Blue.
Triangle.
Blue
Is
cone.
it a cone?
Wow, y'all are great.
Triangle.
It is a triangle.
Blue.
Yeah.
Is it a cone?
Is it blue color?
No, not blue. But it is a
Or is
triangle.
it a cone? Wow,
It's
awesome.
a triangle.
Awesome.
Nice.
Awesome.
Nice.
Here, y'all can look because that's I'm gonna show you. So yes,
Ooh.
check it out.
Oh. This kind of color.
Wow.
I actually saw triangle.
I saw a cone. Wow.
It's a
Okay.
piece of
But that color is
What color is this?
That's
MJ. Now you go carry the color come out too.
Is it pizza?
Na biscuit pizza color.
na pizza be that too.
What colors were you
Wow.
getting inside? You were getting blue.
I got blue.
I didn't get colors. I just saw triangle.
Maybe when the
Just like a white triangle.
when you order pizza, you feel grace prophetically. Okay, I got it, and I'm gonna put it up now. There it is. A color and a shape, or what it means prophetically to you.
What's on the screen? Does it have a part of it that is sharp? That is pointed and sharp?
Yeah, you're right. It does.
Does it have edges? 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3,
It
4.
does.
Wow.
8 edges.
Yep.
Wow.
Does it have 8 edges?
I believe it does. Let's see. No, it's really good.
Wow.
Wow.
What color are you getting, Steve?
Sorry.
Red.
Yeah, that's right.
Ah, okay. 8 edges, red. This is what I'm thinking. Stop sign.
That's he says stop sign. Yeah, that's it. The audio
What
came
did
in.
you say?
Yeah, good job. That's it.
Stop sign.
Yeah, that's it.
What was it?
Yeah, you see it?
Stop sign.
Wow. Wow.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay,
Wow.
8 edges. Yeah. Wow.
Ah.
Okay.
The words of knowledge come fast. These details of you seeing it in the blindfold puts you in slow motion. Like it says, a day in heaven is 1,000 years on the earth. 1,000 years will represent theta state consciousness, which is the carnal mind of all the information. It's fast, very fast. So when you're in a meditation, it takes a long time, and you're getting the details of what color it is, how many edges does it have, the stop sign, and then it moves it up like that neurologically. So it'll be very sharp, and then prophetically, everything else has to work fast because we're always moving fast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here it comes. Now,
Very sad. All I'm
Square.
seeing is
Square color.
What?
yeah, it's a square.
I keep feeling heat in my
Okay.
left hand, and I keep seeing light purple. I just keep seeing purple.
Yeah, on the back of the card, it's light purple on the back of it, but the front of it is what I'm showing you. But yeah, you are getting that. So yeah, you're receiving right now on there, the left hand. You're doing good. So yeah, you all have the square right.
The color you're showing us, I don't know what with the connection it has with fire, because I keep seeing fire.
It does have a connection with that.
Okay.
is that brown?
Good job. That's it. You got it.
Okay.
Ah.
You can take it off. Yep.
Okay.
A
Would
brown.
have said brown. Would have said brown.
Now, you can also try right now, getting words of knowledge or anything or something prophetic right now. If you just switch over for it, you're gonna see how much more it enhanced.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go on with y'all as well. So I'm just gonna perceive your countenance and just relax, and y'all as well do the same thing with me or each other.
Okay.
All right. I got something on all of you right now.
Wow.
So looking at Pastor Victor, I seen him growing up playing like a lot of soccer, the football soccer, with the
Wow. Wow.
and
Wow.
and Usain MJ, I see him being like a jock, like a football player jock, but in school he's like the ladies' man, and he's charming.
Oh, wow.
I see you being in you're in school, you have those book bag with the strings on it, and you're all fresh, and you're like the ladies' man in a school, like a young jock, like the football player jocks.
Wow.
Awesome.
Wow.
Past to speak, I see you over there, like with the way you have your towel wrapped around. Literally, I could see you at a beach or a pool, but I see you being very relaxed, very calm, gifted in those areas like that, where there's this stillness about you, where you're the type of person, and Pastor Victor as well. I see where if someone tries to betray you, you watch back and you observe and you let it play out on its own, and they're going to be exposed, and you let God handle the revenge type of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
True.
by looking at you, I can see the love for your mother. Right here. You guys are moving around sometimes, back and forth.
That talk is so poor. Oh Lord Jesus.
But yeah, Pastor Flo loves to have a good time and be drunk in his spirit, and he's always laughing. You know.
Okay. Wow. Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome. Awesome.
He is. I'm getting a strong connection with him and his mom, like a strong bond there. There's something there,
Yeah.
like some pain and some and love, both. Or you could desire for what somebody ate today, and just by having that subject right there, and then you can look and you can see. All right. I'm getting with Pastor Speak. I see you drinking some type of not like prune juice, but some type of brown juice. I'm trying to see what it is.
You are correct. I drank.
Wow.
I had a concussion. I had a concussion yesterday. You're right. Accurate.
Wow.
I don't.
Wow.
What was the name of it?
Brown juice.
Oh, your microphone. Sorry. Do it again.
Okay. Okay. In our native language, it's actually a concussion of a mix of ginger, turmeric,
Okay.
garlic and the likes. Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was saying. Prune, because it's hearing like the ooh, but
Yes.
that's what it was.
Yes.
Accurate.
So
Accurate.
accurate. So accurate. Wow. Wow.
Wow.
Sometimes I have so much on my mind that I don't know what to desire for a word of knowledge, but I know that no matter what, it's gonna liberate somebody. A couple things that I'm doing while I'm doing this and within is it's almost like I have the blindfold on, because the blindfold is like the tutor teacher. It says the law is perfect, it's holy, and it's just, but it will never make us righteous, because it moves us from one
Wow.
righteousness to the next.
Wow.
Mhm.
So we're using that to train our eyes to see nothing after the flesh. So it's almost
Wow.
Wow.
like I have them off,
Wow.
and
Wow.
like a color or a word pops up, and then it'll almost give me the symbol of whatever it was. Like if I seen orange, or it'd be like orange juice, and then I could feel like a coldness in my stomach and almost feel like I drunk orange juice.
Wow.
Like combining this
Wow.
Wow.
on it. And then I have to discern, because
Wow.
sometimes I was getting that, but you didn't drink orange juice today. But I was getting a few different things. No, I could feel that you did. And sometimes little movies will play out. Because if I don't meditate, I don't clear the mind.
The fact
Wow.
that you even mentioned brown was
Yeah.
so accurate, because the color is brown.
Yeah, and no one really drinks brown juice.
Brown juice. Brown juice.
Come on.
Awesome.
Awesome. Wow.
Here.
I'm still here. I'm still here. I don't really know why I'm not visible, but I'm still right here. Maybe I should.
Because you are drinking purple juice.
Yeah, I'm not drinking for anything. Okay. Mr. Nico. Mr. Nico.
Yeah.
Hello, sir. I actually have a question for you.
Yeah.
How did this start? How long ago have you been doing this? How did it start? Have you always been like this? How did you learn it?
Yep.
Basically, maybe that would help me.
Since I was young, I haven't done this in a while, but I remember when I was like 9 years old, one of my friends was playing like the card game. I think it was Uno or something. And then I decided I had a desire to turn around towards the wall, and I closed my eyes, and or it was a deck of cards, and I'll see like a shady 7 of diamonds or something, and I'll start saying them. And I remember my brother and his friend, they were freaking out, and I thought they were messing with me. And they kept going, whoa, and I remember how I kept seeing it. And then later I kind of backed off of that, because I was just a child playing around, and that was just like one time I didn't understand nothing about spiritual abilities. So the blindfold I've been doing about 2 weeks straight every night. It was my first time doing the time for me, but every night for 2 hours a day.
Wow.
I use a group for accountability partner, because we're busy throughout the day.
Sorry. Every night for 2 hours in a day with who? With what?
With
the blindfold.
Yeah, with the blindfold. So we, just with the blindfold alone, I do many different things. As you're seeing earlier, different types of training. So every day I do training.
Wow.
I'm lacking because I've been really busy. I'm lacking meditation, which enhances it. It clears the canvas of your mind so you can make the eye single and project that one thought and have the reception really good. So I'm wanting to do more breath work and meditation. So so faith can sit on a cleansed conscience, and I could trust myself higher and be more confident instead of my mind being governed by the flesh. So yeah, in the breath work, it brings me internal peace, not external peace. Not as the world brings. Many times.
Wow.
Yeah. So everything starts to add up. You know, you take it with you in like a weapon or equipment. Throughout your day, you'll notice. Like for example, I'm sure y'all see angels or orbs sometimes. If you just look at the laptop, if I look directly at the camera, that's my conscious mind. Now if I start looking at watch my eyes. So if I start looking at now my walls, now I'm looking at the wall here and here. You see how my eyes got hazy? That's my now I go into the subconscious mind. Your eyes spread out, you go subconscious. Theta brainwave state. In that state, you can see angels. So if y'all try to look at the both sides of your this way and then this way, if you do it right now, but look straight, but have the eyes kind of gaze off, and this is also how I train to see angels as well. And I go, and I do now for myself. Angels, you know me, right? That's just a prayer for myself. It's really just internal consciousness. Tongues. It says you can speak all the language of angels, the language of men, and angels or interterrestrial beings like the aliens or the photon orbs. They speak telecommunication. So this tongues is speaking about that only the language you know the Lord knows, and the angels. It says none of it matters if we don't have love in our heart. We're just a noisy gong. So if we're doing the telecommunication like that, the same language that animals respond to, plants respond to, extra-dimensional, interdimensional beings of the angels respond to telecommunication through vehement cries and fervent prayers like Charles Finney. He'll take a step in a 35-mile radius, everyone would get whacked in a 35-mile radius because he sends flies to stop afraid, those 8-hour prayers. And also seen Saint Basil one there. I remember one time he took his clothes off his back for his neighbor, and he ended up being Saint Basil. He ended up being clothed in fire after giving the shirt off his back for somebody because he was walking out his identity of unconditional love. He seen someone without a shirt. Jesus says, "If you see me in prison, give me the Spirit. You know, visit me.
Yeah.
Put me back in my identity as you see one another. You know, lift them out of those patterns because they're reflections of our inner conversations, and what we do to them is we're doing to ourselves because we love ourselves, and that's the body. The eye don't say to the hand, we don't need you, and this is what we're doing here."
Come on. Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
this is how you treat really, not offering prayer in words, but in consciousness. Yeah, but that's what it says there on the Orthodox Church on Saint Basil.
Wow.
Up to God. Yep. Through your whole way of life, so that your life become one continuous and uninterpreted prayer. It's like Paul says, "I thank God I pray in tongues more than you all. Pray without ceasing." He's saying, assume the wish fulfilled, assume the desired state that you wish to experience, and live from the end. So if I want to go out and do miracles and see people healed and see people, you know, he says, if you don't believe in me, at least believe in the works that I do. I only do what I see my Father do. So I go in the realm of imagination. I use my spiritual senses. I see people popping out of wheelchairs, and the more I start to see it, chemicals in my brain with that thinking produces chemicals, which produces a feeling, and feeling is the secret for the manifestation. Once I get the goosebumps, it's been externalized. Now I know that it's done. And whatever I do, I'm going to run into the fractal. It's a bridge of events that lead me to it. And I live that already happened. You're already out of that wheelchair. There's no doubt in the heart. But as the day goes on, after that imagination of prayer and consciousness, I have to maintain the vibrational alignment of what I just experienced inside, you know, in Christ, as Christ. So it says, if the mind is governed by the Spirit, there's life and peace. But if the mind is governed by the flesh, then we're condemned. You know, there's no condemnation for those that live in Christ Jesus. But if I'm condemned and I'm looking with my eyes on my flesh and I'm seeing the person still sick, then I didn't do it in my imagination where I felt it real. I never felt it real, so I never experienced that reality. If we feel it real and internally, and then we actually feel it real, because when we ponder on a thought long enough, it commits the action. He says, "Let's set up a minute heart, commit the act."
Wow.
Exercise the imagination properly. The way and the manner we eat out of the Lord's body, we can fall weak, sick, or die. And we can eat out of any tree of the garden. But he says, but don't think good and don't think evil. Discern what's functional and dysfunctional. You know, he's like, be unconditional about it. And we put a lot of labels on things and conditions, even with our words. If you walk in a forest and we say, wow, it's so beautiful, we just pass judgment in a way because we just took away the glorious wonder by putting a vocabulary on it. It takes it the brain, what the brain does, you know, it starts to take the grammar and it starts to limit the perception. Now we no longer see it as it is and experience it like that, because that label of beautiful only goes so far in the grammar. You know?
Wow.
But we do it all the time on a moment-to-moment basis. Where we do that a lot. But it's cool. We have our imagination to exercise and play around like a child and forget about it all, because knowledge puffs up. You know, every time we have so much knowledge, we stop walking in our identity and we have a lot of judgment, and then we justify ourselves all the time.
Yeah.
That's why it's hard to receive at times, even a prayer or some healing, even for ourselves. A lot of pastors and prophets, they do a lot of laying in the hands, but sometimes when they get sick, it takes longer for them to get healed because their heart has a lot of judgment on it, even unconsciously or subconsciously. They end up putting that in them systems, and they really want to get healed, but they have these subconscious programs where there's judgment that they don't even know of, but they're still doing it automatically because they have that tension there, and they're putting works, you know.
Wow. That's right. That's right.
Mr. Nico, can I ask you a question?
Of course.
All right. If somebody wants to practice with this now, okay. For me, I get words of knowledge, but maybe I should. I get words of knowledge, but it looks as though the blindfold thing seems to mess with my system. How can I build up a practice model? How do I build up a practice model with which I could get better with the blindfold? Do I buy cards? Do I make up cards myself? Do I cut things myself? How do I create a practice model, something I could use every time to practice?
Yeah, you're since you do words of knowledge as well, you're very creative. So we can open up a children's book, or a book, or even the Bible, and open up somewhere and see if we can see that in there, see the words in there, and see it in the spirit like that. There's videos that you can also watch of individuals doing this on YouTube, and when you watch it, the word says the testimony of dunamis brings more dunamis. So when you're watching that, you're getting impartation, and they also have some teachings and things like that. I can send you all the video and we'll put it in the WhatsApp group where everyone's getting educated. So we stay on the grind on it. You can also close your eyes, you know, if you don't have a blindfold, and the person won't speak because you're training. That makes sense. And you can do anything. You could draw something or have some thought projection. Also videos of people doing training or online, and you can put your blindfold on and just watch it, and the guy will say, okay, I have a card up now, and you can see if you could get it before the other guy does, or when he answers it, you can tell which one it was when you've seen it, you know.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Wow.
Thank you so much.
Oh yeah.
Thank you so much, Mr. Nick. I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you, and so am I. Thanks a lot. I'll have my buddy, I'll actually walk on the road where the car's at, but not so dangerous, and I have my buddy right next to me to guard me, and I'm walking on the road, and there's cars going by, and what I'll do is I'll describe the person in the car, and I'll get their tag numbers, and it's so much easier. So and then
Wow.
where this guy wasn't even on the road for a good 60 seconds, and I was getting a car that's gonna come in the future, and it came, and then I'm like,
Wow.
tag number. Then when he told me I was getting it right, I had to take my mask off in front of the stranger driving, and I'm like, whoa! And the guy's like, what are they doing? Yeah,
Wow.
yeah, it gets amazing on it, and then it'll get to the point where you are communicating to people's family members that passed away, like when the Lord says, "I am the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob," not I was the God, and everybody in the Bible is speaking about the cloud of witnesses. Um, so there's times where, yeah, it enhances all kinds of abilities. You start to hear really clear. And I take things like this. I make since everything is the Lord's in the first place. I make everything neutral, and then I put it back to the kingdom. Where people use a ghost box to talk to ghosts, I use that to talk to the cloud of witnesses, and I have the charts up like with Saint Basil. I have them in my room, and everybody, and I honor them. It says they laid the race down for us. They set it. They set it up. Um, so what they're giving us their time. They're giving us their impartation, and we're doing greater things.
Wow.
So I'll take that box, and then even a lot of my family, they'll see a lot of the cloud of witnesses with me, or I go to certain places and they'll describe them, even kids to the T. And I'm like, well, I just had some good communion in heaven with them earlier, since no one dies in the Lord, and we're all one spirit, and that's the body of Christ. And I eat off of them, and I discern, and I say, Saint Patrick, I honor you because love honors in First Corinthians. And I said, you raised more people back from the grave than I have, because I haven't yet, right? So, so I start eating off that, and his neurons will become my neurons, and because we start getting in one accord, and doing communion, because communion encodes your DNA because of the unconditional love encodes DNA. It raises the vibration up on there.
Wow.
Awesome.
I was apart from this word of knowledge class.
Yeah.
So a few things I've seen on your videos and some of your interviews with some of these mystic guys that you follow, that your friends. I can't remember their names now. Right. I remember some of your videos where you move trees, you move leaves, you cause you release energy from inside of you to make spirals and
right,
all of that. Wow. Have you made any attempt to, I don't know if you know Emiko Sun? Emiko's. Okay. Have you made any attempt to convert water to wine? Can that energy do that?
Do what?
Convert water to wine.
Oh, yes, it can. As you've seen, Charles Ibrahim, as we turn the water to wine, and
yes, Charles Ibrahim.
There's a few of my mystic buddies that do it. But I have another friend that flies. He can walk on water. He can fly. He has new symptoms. He's trained with a lot of the Tibetan monks, and he's known that because he eats off of every tree, and he sees that they have the new covenant symptoms. They can drink poison. They should not die. They have such a vision, such humility that they lay their life down, literally, for the brothers and sisters, literally laying their life down to death over the love. And they're even getting their body like Christ, their rainbow body, or the light body. So they have like white hair, eyes like fire. I've been posting that stuff on my social media, my Facebook. And the ones in Tibet, they're getting their rainbow body, breaking the matrix system where the laws of this world no longer pertain to them. They discipline their cranial nerves, their disciples, their Simon Peter, their spiritual ear. They're becoming immovable like the stone, guarding the consciousness like Peter. And they're not moved by their external reality. They're crucifying their flesh daily, their egotistic nature, by transmuting the lower nature, and all the cells and everything will bow down and confess that I am salvation, that Jesus is Lord, that I am a life-giving spirit. I am not victimized, but my spirit is in this, and we're all one life.
Awesome.
Oh.
Wow.
Okay, so how often are we going to have another class? How often will
Oh yeah, would love to. Another thing as well about the creation responding to mature sons. Now that's a moment-to-moment basis. A lot of individuals don't know that. In Romans 8:13, it describes what a mature son is. It says those that are those that crucify or mortify their passions and their desires or the five physical senses, their external reality, are the mature children of God. And then it says, and the mature children of God are led by the Spirit. And what it's saying is, those that don't live by, sight, but by faith. And who do we know that does that on a moment-to-moment basis? We're always, justifying ourselves, and right, and we're in judgment a lot. But
Mm.
an example of this discipling one of the I think I forgot his name, Barth. I forgot to say his name, but this is making a disciple, and we make a disciple of all nations in the body. So we're living by faith and not by sight. That's just one example with the book of code. And we're crucifying we're mortifying our five physical senses. That's just one of the senses that we're doing there of the sight, so we can live by faith. And then we're following our breath, and we're observing, and we're also using righteousness because we're exercising our spiritual senses, as it says in Hebrews, and discerning between what's functional, what's working for me, and what's not working for me. Did Satan make himself known to us by giving us a deceptive light that we fell for because we didn't rest and trust God? But it's a moment-to-moment basis because sometimes our mind is governed by the egotistic nature of the flesh, the five physical senses. And
Okay, now this class you told me you have it 9:45 p.m. every day.
Yep, Eastern Standard Time. That's right.
Okay.
Which is like,
Is it possible? Is it possible we join you, or is it something you will do with us for a while? Like, can we have it?
no. We have new individuals there every day. I actually would love for you. I don't know if you guys are will be up around that time.
Okay. 9:45 will be 2:45 a.m. our time.
Yeah,
2:45 a.m. our time. Yeah.
it reminds me of that.
So if we are up.
Yeah, if you're up, that'd be really cool.
Okay, if we are up, we can always join you.
Yeah, of course. Yep. I want to put you guys in the group, and we're always going to be putting the Zoom links in there. So whenever you want to click it and join in.
Okay, beautiful.
That's
Okay,
cool.
beautiful.
I'll also be posting. I have a giant playlist of all supernatural videos. A lot of people have never seen, and
Wow.
Wow.
my favorite ones. When I watch some of these videos, I'll go, "Whoa, that's my favorite video." My perception. I want to start calling someone on my phone and talk about what just happened, and you know what I mean, and make it work. But I like setting accountability partners up because sometimes we end up getting distracted and we're lazy.
Yes.
So eventually, I want to start getting into ice bath and do breath work with a bunch of ice, and everyone get on Zoom, put the blindfold on. We'll do telekinesis under a jar at the same time while the ice bath is balancing on a ball, right? Then we're
Wow.
doing the aerokinesis, and because the disciples, as Jesus teaches how to pray, when he was pulling the people out of the wheelchairs, he's healing the people with leprosy, right? And he told them initially to stay up and pray and don't go to sleep. Remember, because when you're drowsy, you're in the theta state and the delta state, and that's the state that all the geniuses, Nikola Tesla, everybody was in, and the polyphasic sleeping. Once we're in those type of states of consciousness, that's where we can actually, pray. We can have imagination more clear. Our canvas is more clear. We can. So here's a good one here. I think it'll make a lot of sense. The difference between faith and knowing. They say faith is the evidence. It's the script. It cleanses conscience, right? Because it's really the blood. Faith is because now faith is because of the blood, right? Because of the cleansed conscience of things hoped for. Faith is the evidence or the energy that underlines everything. It's the energy behind it. It's the faith of evidence of things hoped for the things not seen. Now, faith is a currency for your physical blessing. Faith is your spiritual money for your physical blessing, right? And sometimes if we don't have enough faith, he says, how little is your faith? When Jesus is replying at times, people don't know that the mustard seed parable is not saying little faith, because he condemns little faith in the Bible. It means the ever increasing faith of the mustard seed is ever increasing as it keeps on growing. It keeps on.
It's getting bigger.
Right. So since it's our spiritual money, and if we don't have enough, if we have a lot of distracted thoughts, that means our budget, every dollar doesn't have an assignment in our budget, and our money's going everywhere, and we can't afford a lot of the things that we want to do, a lot of the superpowers of who we are, because we can say, oh, I think that, or sometimes we say, oh yeah, I know, but these are just belief systems. If we know it, we'll have the effortless fruits, and we'll have the new covenant symptoms of all the new covenant symptoms that it has on there. We'll have eyes like fire, tongue like sword. We'll have a body like Christ, omnipresent, transforming, and all those amazing, effortless fruits of who we are as our identity before we came in this body. We'll remember who we are, being still, knowing who I am. We'll have a conscious relationship instead of a subconscious one where it's distracted a lot. Anytime we're in unconditional love, peace, and health, and prosperity and wealth, and the world as it is, we're in the Lord. Anytime you know how you do a healing and you see people's reaction, and they're like, and they're giving their testimony. Oh, I'm so thankful, and you feel like you're in this glory cloud high. That's righteousness. As I'm going to the store, and I'm smiling so much because I just see what God just did for somebody, what that does for my life. I'm waiting for somebody to ask me, man, why are you smiling so hard? And I wanted to show them with demonstration because I'm the glory cloud. And then later, someone could call my phone up and say, Nico, we got these bills that need to go. And if I let my heart get worried for a split second or I get offended, then I just came out of that cloud and I'm no longer high. And then my vibrations drop and I just doubt the prayer. That experience I want to desire. Drop the vibrations, and that's what we doubt. When we let our energy emotions, tell us who we are. That's why it's always good to feel it in the imagination first, so we can walk it out in confidence, knowing that it's being realized. We live from the finished work, So right now, you guys can see clearly from the blindfold. You can ride a bike, a car with it, and now you no longer need the tutor teacher. We have matured, and it's brought us to Christ. And now we can use your eyes with no judgment and really see the Spirit. In the end,
wow.
A lot of people don't see the importance of it. They're like, what's the point of the blindfold?
Exactly.
Yeah, it says the law was given to Moses, and Moses means to draw out of water, like the mother's womb, or to draw out of meditation, out of the darkness. And it says we were born under the child conductor. Jesus was born under the law. And then we take in all this data, information, five physical senses of the external reality. And we can be hypnotized by the world, but we can renew the mind by, like Solomon, when he asked the Lord for a hearing heart to govern his people, to judge people. He started observing. He was on the cedar tree. He started observing Mother Nature. He was looking at the ants, the stars, and here we're looking at the light, and the light's coming to us like Paul, and we're blinded. Get knocked off our high horse. When we get humbled, we're observing.
Wow.
Yeah. Having an encounter with the light. The light is actually us. Yeah, so cool.
Wow. Thank you.
Thank y'all. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right now, I'm at a
very much.
I'm gonna get some breakfast.
It's all right.
Okay.
It's all right.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
That's beautiful.
Thank you, Nico.
All right then. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We
Thank you
appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
And we bless your ministry and all that you're doing. That everything
Amen.
is infinity times fold, and we know it's happening now. And even as we go to bed, we were hearing testimonies of people that just had a little session like this, and when they went to sleep, they started having real good dreams, but not only that, the rest of the stuff, they started to perceive the world as it is, and it's really changing. It's like they can
Wow.
see in the spirit, hear in the spirit. Even with the blindfold on, they started to hear and speak more in the spirit. So
Wow.
just bless your ministry, and we just speak
Amen.
and prosperity and health
Amen. Amen.
to be externalized,
Amen.
and not to be condemned on our thoughts or the things we were doing or decisions that we were going to make that was remain us in that path to stand higher. Thank you, Lord.
Amen. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. Love
Thank
you,
you
Nicole.
so
Thank you
much.
so much.
Thank you, Nico.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
so much.
Grateful.
We'll get back to you soon on plan for the next class.
Thank you for your humility and grace to y'all. Thank you. Well, God bless. Love y'all.
Love you.
All right.
Love you too.